Prepping for Magic Round, it's finally here. I've locked in my trades for the week. Obviously, if anything crazy happens over the next few days, I will muck around with some changes. But as it stands right now, I will be locking Hines in as captain. Again, if we find out anything tomorrow evening, I will make a change there in that one. But obviously, I won't be selling Nico. So I think I'm just going to leave him as captain. He's my best choice as captain for the week and likely to pop the vice captaincy on Ruben Cotter. I think he's probably my next safest kind of option, who's been absolutely killing it in recent history. So that's where I'm at with the captaincy and vice captaincy. I have made two trades this week. John Bateman and Brendan Piakura come out of the side. I don't have any use for Brendan. I'm set for sort of round 13 in his section. He doesn't play that one. I don't really want to play him in 14 or over the next few weeks anyway, and he's losing cash. So Piakura, your Dunskies, off you go. There's the door. I'm sure he's going to come good this year at some point. He will have a few good games in a row, but I'm not banking on it to be now with the minutes that he's going to play. Bateman, you're out as well. KO Weeks was the obvious one of the obvious pick of the week. He comes in. Brendan Piakura, you're gone. Ewan Aitken comes in. The main reason for Aitken, he suits my setup. If you look at my team right here, right now, Kale Iro, Jacob Kiraz, they were my only centers before bringing in Ewan Aitken. And in my spreadsheet, in my Word doc, I had in there that I wanted to set up with the best ideal setup, in my opinion. 2 hookers, 5 mids, with one of them at least having some type of dual. I've got Plath with dual half. I've also got Salmon with dual edge. 3 edges we wanted. We wanted to have 3 halves. We wanted to have 3 centers, and we wanted to have 5 wing fullbacks. So my current issue right now is just that I have 1 extra hooker, and I have 1 less on the wing fullback side now. I have a few guys with dual in the half section, so that ends up being about four players that have the half. And the more duels we have, the better. It's just my hooking spot now, I have 3 of that same. But we will make a decision on Grant and Crichton in round 13 and see what we're going to do on that front there. But Aitken helps me out with another center, mainly for rounds 15 with Kiraz out, round 16 and onwards there. He's going to be super important for my side. I can cover him in 18. I will be trading Crichton out in round 13, likely. Or we just hold, depending on whose options. And if I need anyone in round 13, I may not have to trade. But he's likely to be out of my side for his round 14 buy. And that would leave me with 4 players out at this stage, with everyone else kind of playable. Salmon's probably the least playable of the bunch. This week, I have to play Sam Hughes. It's probably my main issue in the side right now. And I'm going to do some looping as well. But yeah, Aitken he covers, obviously him being a gun in the center position. That's awesome. He covers my edge, which I'm going to need an edge in round 13 with Crichton being out. KPP, hopefully we can just stick solid with him and it can be KPP and Aitken. So he helps in round 13. He's out round 14. That's the only issue I have with it. And then round 15 onwards, he's super helpful. I don't have to buy another gun edge, another center this season. He can cover both those positions. Super helpful player. I'm very much annoyed that I wasn't able to get him 100 or 150k ago, but that's how it plays out. Sometimes you just gotta go with it, roll with it. We have so much money available over the next bunch of weeks with all these guns being out. We can't replace them with other top tier guns. So 700k guys, I've got 171 in the bank still. This is how we're gonna have to play it. Again, we don't want to be making trades, but it is what it is right now. And 2 trades for me this week sets me up in a good stead. So Hughes, unfortunately, with him and Salmon being the only guys I could do some looping with in my mids, Hughes is just going to start. I've got Salmon down there looping in number 6, and we'll see how that one plays out and go from there. If he was to absolutely kill it, get a try or something like that, we can make some moves. If Kai Pearce Paul, I'm going to be looping as well in the 3rd game of the round that they play. If he does really well and Salmon does really well, I can double loop Fuller and Plath. I was having a muck around look with potentially doing some looping in the wing fullback slot and also for Fuller and then Plath as well with the mids or the half, but I can't do it, as I said, with Salmon and Hughes playing in the same game in that first game. It's a little bit frustrating. If one of them was there, I could easily do that loop, which would be good. And then the half position, I've only got Atkinson as cover and I'm likely playing him anyway. So in this scenario, very unlikely that I'll be taking Salmon's score. He's going to stay at 6. We'll loop Kai Pearce Paul in 5. If he gets 30 or less, I will keep Atkinson in that interchange 4 anyway, and I'll take all these scores. So Lussick, Brayley, Aitken, Atkinson, pretty solid interchange with some looping there. Hughes the main issue with Grant, Cotter, Jolliffe, Crichton, Blore, Hines as captain, Galvin, Iro, Carraz, KO Weeks comes in, he'll start for me with Atkinson, has that same cover on the bench, Drinkwater with Armstrong. So I think I should still be able to go pretty well this week. And next week might be a little bit of a troubler with me having a few Knights players. Thankfully, they aren't too expensive, and Kaipi's Paul is struggling at the moment anyway with his benching at the moment. So Brayley, Kaipi's Paul, and Armstrong isn't the worst 3 out, but likely means I'm going to have to... And Fuller's likely to be out as well, so it'll likely be the 17 on deck, and I don't really want to be playing Pikura. Salmon, we'll have to work out what's happening with him. But if he keeps getting 50 on the edge and drops his missed tackle numbers down and doesn't play, Cleary, doesn't play, Ivan Cleary and his Panthers on a week-to-week basis, then I think he's going to have a few less missed tackles for sure. So that's where my team's at. This does set me up right now if I want to leave it as is and there's no injuries. Of course, there's going to be injuries. But round 13, I have 13 players in the correct positions, which is awesome. So Lussick or Brayley in hooker, Hughes, Salmon, and Plath in mid. Not super ideal, but yeah, it is what it is. I want to make extra trades. Edge, we've got Aitken and Kaipi's Paul. Half, we've got Atkinson and K Weeks at the moment. Centre, we've got Iro Carraz. Wing fullback, we've got Weeks, Drinkwater, Armstrong, and Fuller will return for that week. So I have the full 13. It's not the best 13 that you can provide across those weeks, but it's the best that we can do with the lack of trades that are available. And I'll be happy enough to get that strong enough 13 on the park. And if Hines is there, even better. I have another player that could cover an injury in the wing fullback. I can bring Atkinson down and play that. It covers the half position as well if one of those guys goes down. So yeah, we're in a good position on that front. And I think we'll leave it at that. Pretty simple enough this week. There was other options I could have gone for a gun mid this week. Could have worked out. Then I could have been able to just loop Hughes instead. But I think, Hughes 30, Kaipi's Paul probably 30, Salmon 20 odd or 30, Atkinson likely to be 30 odd if Hines doesn't play. If Hines doesn't play, then I'm likely to get Kaipi's Paul score, whatever that is, off the bench. And that's fine. Yeah, we'll cop it at that. But yeah, AFB was a potential option for me this week. I was looking at, Hopgood I'd like, but can't really do it. Dylan Brown would have been great, but he doesn't fit, this narrative that I've got potentially too many halves or wing fullbacks this week, coming into round 13. So yeah, it doesn't really help that. So it doesn't fit my side. Ellie Katoa was a potential. Butcher we could have mucked around with. Tarpany as well doesn't help 14. So there weren't a lot, right? So it was either that or go for J. Cole. Mr. J. Cole. But you'll see in my head-to-head team, he's going to feature in that instead because I couldn't get him into the overall team. So that's where he's going there. I've talked him up. Looks like Schneider, again, NRL Physio doesn't know yet, but could be anywhere between 4 and 8 weeks is what his eye tells him. Still no confirmation from the Panthers. Hopefully we do find out something about him, but I suppose when they're in New South Wales Cup instead of the main NRL team, it's hard for us to get a lot of information on him, as well. I believe someone was just saying that Jared Wallace has actually got ACL surgery, so he obviously won't be playing first grade anytime soon as well. So yeah, that's my team, guys. We'll move on to the head-to-head squad now. Head-to-head squad has gone for some cheaper players this week and has a tremendous amount of cash in the bank, but this is going to set us up in a little bit better stead. So sitting there with Silva Havili as my only hooker after trading him in last week, I've decided to add to that, give myself some cover with the lack of trades that you're building in this squad. I want to continue going for some cash generation for guys that I think that can score well also. So give me a 40 odd and make plenty of cash. And that's going to be KO Weeks and Jack Cole. As I said, I couldn't get him overall, so we're going to have fun with it and throw him into the head-to-head team just to have a stake because I'm talking him up a lot to you guys. So I want to make sure he goes into the side. Like for like replacement, Nathan Cleary to Jack Cole, right? And then Reed Marnie comes in and covers that hooking position for our squad. With the 711k, we can make a trade next week from Piakura to a gun we need in likely going to be a mid. We're probably going to need there. We do have Plath. We have Hughesy. We don't have a Salmon, so we'll probably get a mid in that section, which will take away a few 100,000, maybe 300,000 if we go for yeah, in this side, I don't have the full allotment of Dolphins. I just have, you know, Plath, Strange, and Weeks with Crichton there. So I could add one more that misses round 14, and that could be, yeah, I suppose a Joe Manu could be potential. Joe Tarpany could plug in that one there. Don't know if I'm going to need someone down below here, considering I've got, you know, Strange, Iro, Talangi, Dylan Brown in halves, Armstrong. Yeah, probably don't need anyone down there. It's going to be up top, so maybe a Joe Tarpany could use that extra cash next week. But we'll go with Cole to make some money in this one and make some decisions later on. So Reed comes in. Hopefully he can score well. We need to bounce back from Tohu Harris. Going to slap the captaincy on Crichton in this one, and I think we'll go Dylan Brown as vice, just in case things go pear-shaped in that one. For Cotter, very much hope that he's okay, but if anything happens, it's, you know, anything could happen at the moment. It's been an absolutely crazy few weeks. So yeah, Reed, Cotter, Havili, hopefully a 30 odd to 40 again. Nickera, Crichton, Dill Brown, no Hines, so obviously this team would benefit from Hines being out, but he's not going to be. Iro, Talangi, happy with that. Having Blaze, didn't get him in my side, but yeah, it is what it is. I can't get another centre who doesn't have edge duel. Weeks, Garrick, and Drinkwater. We're going to have Cole, Blore, Armstrong, and then I'm going to loop Ethan Strange in that first game, and then we'll make some decisions on that one. Obviously, yeah, Hughes, we're not going to be able to get in to that side this week, but Kaipi's Paul will be the guy that, if Strange has a shocker, we'll pop him in to our interchange there as well. If everything stays the same, if we've got Hines playing this week, my overall team should beat this, but again, they're well ahead, 21,000 ranks ahead and should be going better. And obviously the cash in the bank hurts a little bit, but we do need to continue setting this squad up well and getting rid of that dead wood. We had injuries, and yeah, Chan obviously losing his spot. Now we've got 20 playing this week, which is great. Pikura, yeah, at least he's there and a warm body. Plath will be back next week. So yeah, good signs on that front that we've got a lot of players back. The main issue is just going to be Cole, how long he gets in this side. If he's, you know, even if he's there for 4, 5, 6 weeks, we're still going to have to trade him out. We're going to have to trade Havili out, likely, especially when Murray comes back. So they've got kind of 4, 5, 6 week rentals on their spots. And then, yeah, Pikura, we're not too sure on. Hughes, how long do we hold him? So still a bunch of trades to be made in this head-to-head squad. But again, in round 13, 16, 19, we're going to have to slow down a little bit on the trades and conserve a little bit so that we can have a bunch remaining when the year, well, the buy period rounds out, and we can set up for our final team. And hopefully we've made enough cash that we can still get together a pretty decent final squad and along the way win some of these head-to-head matches and get into that top 8 at least to give us a shot at head-to-head glory, that's for sure. So we'll leave this video at that, guys. Thanks so much for being here for the trades videos. I hope they help you with your strategy, especially give you some potential ideas on where you need to get cover in your sides. I'm very glad to have hooker cover now with Reed Marnie as a guy that has a great buy schedule as well, with that standalone in round 15, obviously missing for round 19, but we'll have that sorted by then anyway. So thanks again, guys. Enjoy Magic Round. This one's coming out Thursday afternoon, as I said, in the Supercoach one. So, sorry, I'm making this Thursday afternoon. So if any changes happen by the time this video comes out today here on Friday, that, yeah, you can ask and I'll try and fill you in, but I'll probably just let the guys in the private group know of any changes that hopefully we don't have to make. So that's that, guys. Thanks so much. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm sure I will.